Hi, this is Ohad from ThinkUp. In the following video, I would like to show you how to build your startup more professionally. Remember, most startups fail, and we would like to increase your chances of success. Building your startup more professionally means clearly defining your problem and making sure it's real, presenting your planned solution to your target audience and making sure you get positive feedback, making sure your market is big enough, and making sure you have something truly unique. We want to make sure that you're on the right path to product market fit, you have a big opportunity lying ahead of you, and you have good chances of long-term success. We will be showcasing this on our platform, which is an AI-powered SaaS solution that leverages best practices and proven methodologies from the startup ecosystem. It guides you step by step to build your startup more professionally and more effectively. Our platform is built out of modules, or steps as we like to call them, where each step addresses a different topic. Upon onboarding, our solution uses your problem and solution definition in order to get to know you better. Then, when going through the various tasks, it references the most relevant LLM to provide suggestions. Let's go. So today's example draws inspiration from Kairo Health, startup in the healthcare industry, and to be more specific, in the robotic process automation segment. They're trying to help hospitals and clinics with their administrative overload by creating AI agents that help automate lots of these manual tasks. Let's start with the customer discovery step. We've used our AI suggestions for the end users of the product, which is nurse, care coordinator, and healthcare administrator. All of these people might be using our product. In terms of decision makers, again, chief nursing officer, healthcare operation manager, and chief technology officers. All of them seems to be relevant as part of the decision-making process. The healthcare consultant could be another influencer to help make the decision whether to buy this product or not. Let's move on to the personas. So we've got these 7 personas, and we're gonna dive into the nurse persona, creating a full persona for that type of user. The main goal of this persona to enhance patient care, obviously, and there are all sorts of pains in doing that. All of the time-consuming administrative tasks and coordination processes, and the nurse needs to streamline patient care processes and automate all of these tasks. Obviously, these are the functional requirements. So this is a full mapping of the nurse persona, the bio, fictitious bio, the pains, the needs. Again, these are all the target audience. And that's it for the customer discovery step. Let's move on to market research. So we're moving on to market overview. We've got 2 methods of analyzing the market size, top down and bottom up. Top down, we can see there are a few suggestions for market reports. There are a few suggestions here, around 5 market reports. However, there's a significant difference between the terms of each report. So you would have to dive in and understand why is there such a big difference. Go to the report here. Also, the global robotic process automation market includes quite a few diverse segments, and you have to focus only on the healthcare segments and understand the size of it. Now we've got the bottom-up calculation. I think that the unit of measure should be healthcare companies and organization, globally speaking. We've done a bit of a research with ChatGPT, and I think a rough estimate could be 1 million healthcare clinics and hospitals around the world. Again, this is very rough estimate. It has to be validated. And we haven't checked exactly how much each clinic or hospital could pay. We could put in an average number, how much they would be willing to pay annually. Obviously, there's a big difference between a small clinic and a large hospital in terms of the availability, their willingness to pay, their ability to pay. And that brings us to a total of $10 billion. We're going to use the same CAGR from the top-down analysis from the market report. And to sum up, we've got from the top down $30 billion market size, TAM, and bottom up, we've got only 10. Obviously, again, this includes many segments within the robotic process automation, and you have to take out just healthcare. And this was just the bottom up was just a rough number that has to be researched better. Let's move on to user research. Moving on to user research step. The user research step is where we find interviewees and interview them, upload their recordings to our platform and analyze the interviews, and then we can validate the assumptions that we made in customer discovery. Okay, so we choose the persona that we want to interview. That's a nurse in this case. Just browsing through the information pages. Here's the interview script that the platform automatically creates for us with the main goals, section needs, pains, and emotional needs. We can then make some adjustments, delete or add a few questions of our own. We then need to find participants to interview. The platform offers us a few meetup groups, also Reddit or LinkedIn groups to find the potential interviewees. Or you can send a message on social or by email to reach out to them and get them for an interview. Then once we have the interviews recorded, we can upload them here to the platform. It's like a mini CRM module. You can upload the interviews recording. The platform will help you analyze and make sure you validated the pains and needs of your potential customers. Okay, that's it for user research. Let's move on to product concept. Okay, moving on to product concept step. This is the step where you will lay down the foundations for your product and your future MVP, define the value proposition and the capabilities in a high level. Let's start with the product statement. This is a statement that helps you describe what your product is doing and who is it for. Let me demonstrate how the platform provides some suggestions to complete the entire statement. Now let's move on to the needs. Well, our product has to address the needs of our potential customers. We don't want to develop things that they don't need. We've listed a few needs for the nurse persona. In this screen, we rank the needs according to the value that we can provide with our product and the alignment of providing and addressing that need with our own product statement, making sure we are developing the things that we want. So we've got only 3 needs here. It's not a long list. In this screen, we need to select the top 3. If we've had more, that would be more visible. Now we need to go over need by need and list the capabilities that we're going to develop to address those needs. So for example, streamlining patient care processes. We're going to provide the capability of identifying less engaged patients, call them to check in, to automate the administrative task. We can do the same. We can use the same capabilities as the previous needs, and we can add some more capabilities like identifying late cancellations, call other patients that are willing to fill in those slots. And for the last need, there's another capability. Finally, we need to list and detail how well are we going to cover in our product the need, and is it feasible? Do we think it's feasible to cover that need, or it could be a bit too difficult, technically speaking? So we've got a list of all the capabilities, grouped by personas or grouped by needs. This will later on be used when we develop our MVP. Let's move on to value proposition. We need to list all the values that we provide to the different personas. ThinkUp provides us a few value proposition statements. For example, streamlining patient care, reducing administrative burden, automating patient check-ins and appointment scheduling, etc., etc. Next, we've got an overarching high-level aggregation of value proposition statement of most of the value proposition that we've seen before. This is like a summary of all the value proposition that we provide. One last thing is the architecture a simple design of the architecture of the product just for marketing purposes. We will leave it up to you, the users, to do that. So that's it for the product concept. Let's move on to competitive analysis. Moving on to competitive analysis. In this step, you will map your competitive landscape, compare yourself to your competitors, understand where your strength, what is your unique value proposition, and competitive advantage. So we start off with defining and analyzing our competitors. Our platform provides you a few suggestions, and you have to go over them and make sure they are truly in the healthcare domain. So we've got around 5 competitors identified quite quickly. We need to tag them and map them into direct and indirect competitors. Obviously, this is just an example. You have to do much deeper research. We can then go into each competitor and specify, does it address the same needs as we do of our personas? For in this example, our persona is the nurse, and the need is streamlining patient care processes. Kairo Health has some capability to address it, and CareStroke has a similar solution. You have to go through each of the needs of our persona and specify how does the competitor address those needs, if it does. Okay, then once we've completed that for each of our direct competitors, we can have the maps or comparison table that visualize how well do we stand in comparison to our competitors. We have the axis for the quadrants. We can choose the different needs. The options are the needs of our customers. This is the way to compare ourselves to our competitors. How well do we address those needs? We can also visualize and use the table, comparison table, and see where our strength, the biggest advantage for us lies here. Okay, now let's move on to understanding our advantage, crafting our unique value proposition. We can remember and keep in mind what it was our value proposition statement, what are the top needs and the capabilities, top needs of our customers and the capabilities of our product, which will help us craft the unique value proposition statement. Moving on to our competitive edge, there are a few options here. We've selected, for example, intellectual property, experienced teams, strategic partnerships. This is just for this example. The IP, for example, could be in the onboarding process of the client, could be a real advantage. That helps with the customer acquisition. Experienced team, this is an advantage because they understand exactly the pain point of the customers, of their end users, of the nurses. We then need to specify how rare is that within the industry. Maybe it's not very rare, and how hard or how complex is it to imitate that capability. Okay, now finally we have to craft our competitive edge statement. That is important for our investors to show them that we can truly outperform in the market. Okay, that's it for competitive analysis. Let's move on to product concept validation. Moving on to concept validation. In this step, you will interview your customers, your potential customers, but this time you will have a demo, a mock-up, a storyboard, or a prototype to present and get their feedback. First of all, we have to make some assumptions, right? That we believe that we're creating some value and it is needed to our customers. We make an assumption that we can create, technically speaking, can create our product and that our customers will use it. So we have to set all of these assumptions and validate them. We then need to assess how risky are these assumptions according to how certain are we that the assumption is correct. What would be the impact if the assumption isn't correct? If we're uncertain and the impact is great, then this is a high risk assumption and we have to prioritize it when we rank the assumptions to validate. So now we have to plan a validation test. In this case, we've created an interview test. Let's see the setup. We have to choose, let's say, 3 assumptions to validate in this test. Obviously, we're going to choose the high and medium risk assumptions. Those are the most important to validate. There are all sorts of options to validate the concept. Let's set it to high level main screens. And then we need to choose the persona. In this case, let's go for the nurse. Then we have to design the test method. We got all sorts of information. Since it's an interview script, the platform suggests the basis for the interview, and we can update it, adjust, delete, add more questions as we want. Next, same like in user research, we need to go and find the participants for the interview, and the platform provides some suggestions as to meetup groups where our potential customers will be hanging. Okay, so that's it. Later on, once you've made all the interviews, you can gather all the results, quite similarly to the way it's been done in user research. That's it for now. I hope you enjoyed it. Let us know in the feedback if you've got any questions or if you want any other journeys that you want us to work on.